Hi, I'm Maaz. Ben Vallis covered plan. I'm going to show you what happens next. How do we take a plan and convert it into a build-ready design artifact? And how we've handed most of the job to AI and in the process gotten a 10x productivity speed up. For years, this was my job. It looks glamorous as a network architect. You draw a picture and it gets translated to hundreds of millions of dollars of real hardware moving real traffic. But let's take a look at what's happening here. It's a chain of multiple actions. A business need gets sized into a demand turns into a topology. Topology goes through low-level design like addressing, and once that is known to work, we get a BOM that tells us what to ship, where to ship, and when to ship. And once that lands on site, we rack, stack, cable, and configure. This chain has handoffs. Every arrow there is a handoff, and every handoff is fragile. There are three specific things that make it fragile. One is tribal knowledge. The rules that make a network design correct live in people's heads, scattered across wikis. They are not codified, they are not code. This is serial execution. It's slow, and nothing here is parallelizable. There's silent error propagation. An error that is introduced in the first half or the first step of the chain only announces itself towards the end when the network is being turned up. And in networking, that can mean either an outage or weeks of capacity delivery delay. Remember these three things: tribal knowledge, serial execution, silent propagation, because we'll come back to that. It's these reasons, that's why a generic LLM cannot directly solve this problem. By a generic LLM, I mean a coding LLM, because network is not really code. For code, close enough is usually sufficient. You have good unit tests that tell you when you're going wrong. For network, there is a very high correctness bar. There's also a connectedness criteria. If you change one role, that can cause a ripple effect in the entire BOM. But here's the opening. The problem has some rules: port budgets on devices, aggregation logic and routing, hardware limits on platforms. If we can teach these things to AI and teach it how to check this using deterministic code, kind of like integration tests, then the whole thing changes. By the end of this talk, I'll show you how we do this with our secret sauce, that is grounding. Grounding these agents in reality so that they don't hallucinate. In this talk, we're going to make three quick stops: how the sausage is made, some quick wins from production experiences, and what's in store for the future. As I mentioned earlier, the solution is grounding. It's not just a bigger model. It is to take the existing model and teach it what is real and what is not. First, we provided domain context. We take these rules that are tribal knowledge and we codify them. For example, in data center design, a 4RU switch has 128 ports. That is a rule that should not be violated. Second are historical designs. We have hundreds of previous designs, so we know what good looks like. We take these designs and translate them through a high-performance database and make them available to the agent, kind of like a RAG. And then the agents can retrieve them without a penalty in the performance. Third is we use natural language intent to talk to the agent, because when you talk is really where the creative juices get flowing. One of the hard parts of my job is writing down everything and losing the creative flow in doing that. Talking is like brainstorming, working with a colleague. And fourth is a validation layer with concrete rules that tell us when something is being missed, something erroneous that can be caught. That's how we solve the problem. Here is an example of how institutional memory is injected into the model. For example, we define scopes to modularize the network design. Aggregation layers has fabric, cross-connect. Then it has an edge that connects to the backbone. Backbone has planes, mesh groups. And our racks that we deploy in the network have modular rack specs. A rack spec describes what goes in a network rack. There's also other aspects of network engineering that are codified. For example, a device name has a prefix, has a plane, has an index, and has a site. So AI then knows when it's generating a design for a device name. Those are the key things it has to fill and fix. Circuit roles have a particular format name, A endpoint and Z endpoint. IP addressing schemes, again, have blocks, prefix, region, metro, plane. These are the insights that we have codified, so our design agent now knows how to navigate the space. Under the hood, it's not one agent. It's a bunch of specialists all working together, each agent married to the right task. We have a deep tech agent that searches our code repositories. We have one that renders config at the end. We have one that reads wikis. And we have one that can digest large PDFs and diagrams into something that's usable by the other agents. And then we have one that generates pretty pictures and dashboards and the final topology, the final artifact. These agents work in harmony. They take intent, they retrieve it in grounded data, they propose a draft, they validate the constraints, and once they're happy with this, they present it to the human for approval. And that's where the 10x speed up comes from. Typically, what takes an hour to write takes only a couple of minutes to review. The role of an engineer, a network architect, is now changed from an author to an approver. What did this actually do for us? Our first production use case is autonomous sizing. This one still impresses me. How we can take a business requirement and translate it into a network topology that satisfies the network demand in just a few minutes. Prior to this exercise was a chaotic web of scripts and Excel sheets that took us 6 weeks to get right. Now, it is as simple as a natural language query to our capacity engine, which is driven by AI. The engine is a bunch of mathematical models, and AI agents trigger those models with the right set of inputs that are derived from the natural language query. For example, write for me a network topology that has X clients and has some level of oversubscription and meets certain level of demand. It reaches for past designs, translates those inputs, and then inputs them into the capacity agent that produces a real working topology, not just a slide, a real fabric that we've deployed in a network. Over the past 6 months, we have done hundreds of these analyses, and each of those is well tested through our validation engine. Our LLMs can also do what network engineers have been doing for a long time, just much faster. This is deterministic addressing. For example, in this case, given a certain rules of IP address hierarchy, it can take a prefix and find low-level addresses for devices through region, metro, plane, and all meeting the top-level rules that the engineer set. Sometimes I give it a complex analysis, a what if. What happens if you want to extend our network rows from 38 racks to 44 racks? It's not a trivial exercise. It can do a bunch of what if analysis for me, give trade-offs, and tell me how we can actually implement it. What needs to change in our stack, in our operational tooling to actually realize the solution? Today, it can draft and scope. The challenge yet is with end-to-end validation. A human still needs to be in the loop. That's on purpose, because in this domain, the cost of getting something wrong is too high. And today, we cannot skip that. We have transformed information search, visual artifact generation, complex analyses into a 10 to 20x speed up on most engineering tasks in design. The mechanical toil is eradicated. The engineers are used for strategic decisions. AI today in design is in second stage of its maturity. 6 months ago, it could assist. Today, it can draft. It cannot check. And because it cannot check, it cannot do an end-to-end orchestration of a design and own the entire outcome. A human still needs to be in the loop. What this work has taught us is that network design is becoming a conversation like you would have with your colleague. We have 10x the productivity. Once we unlock, check, and end-to-end orchestration, agents can give us 100x productivity boosts. That's the future we're building, and it makes me super excited. Thank you so much.